and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Amy and I make lots and lots of videos, normally surrounding beauty, health, lifestyle, that kind of thing. So if you haven't seen me before and you think you're going to like this video, please hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and give this video a big thumbs up so more people can find it. Today's video, you will already see that I have my foundation on. I'm doing a foundation first impressions of the Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation, and as well the primed and peachy primer as well. So that's what's on my face at the moment. However, I am going to be doing an everyday makeup routine for you guys. I started with my foundation already because my foundation is interchangeable, frankly, every day. I will switch from Rimmel Lasting Finish, look how janky that is, oh my god. Smashbox Studio Skin, I've got It Cosmetics here, MAC, and then a really old, and I'm literally just trying to get through it, Maybelline Superstay, like in the old packaging. So the foundation in terms of my everyday makeup routine isn't that important because I am like doing Project Pan at the moment and I'm trying to get through so many of them. But in terms of the actual makeup that I do on a day-to-day basis when I'm going to work or I'm going out, it's actually pretty much the same thing that I do every day unless I'm filming. So let's just dive straight into it. So I will apply my foundation as I have today. Normally I will kind of buff it in roughly with a buffing brush, and then I will go over and finish it with a sponge. Normally Real Techniques because I'm cheap. Then I will move on to my concealer. In terms of my everyday makeup routine, I have two at the moment that I've been using every day that I absolutely love. So the first one is the PS My Perfect Colour Liquid Concealer, which is very much supposed to be like the NARS creamy concealer, whatever it is. And then I have the Benefit Cakeless Concealer, which is in my little pot here that I can't find. So we're going to be using the Primark one today. I have these both in the shade Porcelain and they're both open, which makes no sense, but hey ho, we'll just get on with it. And I have started doing, well, I kind of did James Welch's placement before, where I would kind of put it here and go down my nose, but I've started doing the bit on the other corner as well. And I actually did the inside corner down the nose hack from watching a YouTuber called Karima McKimmy, who is very much about the natural makeup. She has a dry skin type, she's an Australian YouTuber, and she used to do it because it makes the planes of her face seem flatter because she's got really deep teardrop lines like I do. So I thought I'd try that anyway and see whether it worked, and I will just blend that in as I do every day. So I go around the inner corner onto the eyelid, and then I just blend it kind of underneath my eye to make me look like I've had some sleep in the last 5 years. Then I will go in with powder, and every day, mostly because I'm trying to get through it for Project Pan, I have been using, this used to be so domed and now it is not. I use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Light. I have had this for years and have been trying to work my way through it for years and I still haven't bloody managed it. It's like a really kind of light, it's like the powder version, I would describe it as the powder version of a tinted moisturiser. So you can, and sometimes I do actually do this, you can wear it alone and it just gives you kind of like the tiniest hint of a tint of colour just for evening out skin tone. So if I'm having like a really no makeup day, and I will sometimes put this on its own, but it's like, it's not completely matte, it's got like slightly, an almost slight luminescence to it. It's not as glowy as the Hourglass powders, which I do own. It is more matte than that, but it doesn't set your makeup to the point where you end up looking like a flat pancake. Then I will do my weird habit, which I didn't realise was a weird habit when nobody else did it. So I actually set my face twice. I use the Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I will set my face once after I've done my foundation, concealer and powder. Then I will do my eyebrows, then I will do my blush, my bronzer, and if I'm feeling highlight I'll put a highlight on, and then I'll set it again. Particularly in mask weather and working in the environment that I work in, I find that it really does help my makeup stay on. It really does kind of lock it in multiple layers, and it's harder for it to rub off on the inside of my mask. At least I think it is. So don't breathe it in, kids. So while that is kind of setting, I will go on to my eyebrows, and today I am using the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Universal Taupe Pencil. This is a tiny little sample that I got, God, I don't even know how long ago it was, when I bought the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. And I only bought the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara because I heard really good things about it, and then I hated the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. But this is good, I really like this. So I kind of just, as per usual with every brow routine, brush the hairs up and then just do little kind of streaky bits. I think this is my better brow, so this is going to be slightly easier to do than the other one. But generally speaking, if I'm doing this makeup look, which is what I do most days, generally if I'm not filming this, obviously I'm not normally doing this when I'm filming, I think from start to finish in total this routine will take me about 8 minutes, maybe 10 if I'm going really pedantic, just because I've done it so often and I know kind of how the products work. I know the best way to get good payoff from them. Like before we had to wear masks on trains, I used to do this on the train to work, which is how I got it down to 8 minutes. Keeps you in time. So yes, there you go. Very, very simple. Draw on the brow. So I'm now going to do it on this side and I'll be right back. Right, now that I've done that and I look like Groucho Marx, I'm then going to move on to adding some actual dimension to my face, because currently I'm looking a bit flat with large eyebrows. So if you have known me for any length of time, I really rate Kiko bronzers. I think in terms of powder face products, unless I am spending 70 quid on Hourglass powders, which I have done and I wouldn't recommend, I would say for me, in terms of bang for your buck, I think Kiko is where it's at. Their marble bronzer that they bring out in kind of every collection, just in different packaging, I think is absolutely brilliant. It's a really, really good bronzer for kind of pale skin. I'm not even doing this like looking in a mirror because my camera's fucking like displays turned off. That's fine. It'll look good. So this is the Jelly Jungle Maxi Bronzer in the shade 01 Beige Storm. And I kind of just literally just whack it around my face like it's not rocket science. I own a lot of Kiko powder products. A lot of Kiko powders, a lot of Kiko blushes, a lot of Kiko bronzers. I just find that they have kind of really good payoff. I also put a bit across my nose because apparently it makes it look more natural. They get really good payoff, they're really good prices. and they just seem to last for a really long time. And for me, while all the expensive ones are nice, they're not that nice, you know? They're not nice enough to warrant spending, like, for example, I love the Too Faced Papillon Peach Blush, but it's like 20, 25 pounds. And in terms of the finish that I get on my skin, it is no different to this Model Co blush or the Kiko blush that I have upstairs in Bellini. Like, it's no different in terms of the finish that I get on my skin afterwards. So why would I spend £25 on a blush when I can spend £5 on a blush that looks exactly the same? Speaking of the Model Co blush, this is in the shade Peach Bellini, and isn't every peach blush in the shade Peach Bellini. This is actually really quite pigmented, and I've had this for really quite a long time, and I'm trying very, very hard to kind of work my way through it. Obviously I'm not doing a very good job because there's still bloody loads of it left. But I would say that I am definitely a blush person, like if I had to pick. If I really had to pick. Because see, up until 2 years ago, I didn't wear bronzer. Bronzer wasn't something that I thought I could wear as a pale person. And then, who was it? Was it Rachel? Might have been Rachel. No, Rachel got me into contour. Rachel got me into contour. And then from contour I discovered bronzer, because then I discovered YouTube. And I discovered that, you know, you can actually wear these kind of things. And the one thing that really swung it for me in terms of bronzer was Benefit Hoola Light coming out, which is too light for me as a bronzer. As she says, I look fucking tangoed across most of my face. But that was just, that really solidified me as, like, I do like bronzer, but in terms of like face changing dynamics, blush is where it's at for me. Like, I will take blush over bronzer absolutely any day. So now that I have a bit more dimension to my face, I will then go in and set my face again with the same Urban Decay setting spray. I really should start blow drying my hair for videos. So depending on what I'm doing on the day, kind of my eyes and my eyeshadow is where I switch it up the most. So if I'm having a really, really lazy day, I will whack a bit of bronzer through the crease, I'll put a bit of this across the lid, I'll buff a bit of this on my lower lash line, I'll do mascara, and I'm done. Like, that's it. That's on a really, really minimal, really can't be bothered makeup day. If it's a day where I'm normally going to work, just because I find it easier to do this, I will use this I Heart Revolution Mini Mint Choc Chip palette. And if I'm going out to see my friends or I've got the day off, normally I will do the look with the Rose Gold palette, and I will normally do the same look every single time. So today, just because it's the one I seem to be doing most often, I will be going for the Mint Choc Chip palette. But just to show you, this is what the Rose Gold palette looks like on the inside. So normally I will use this shade in my crease. I'll use this one to, so I'll use this one in my crease, I'll use this one to darken up the outer corner, and then I'll use the shimmers in each corner to kind of go over the inner portion of the lid, and I will then use the same two matte shades on my lower lash line as well. Today we will be using the Revolution Mint Choc Chip palette. As you can see, I've made quite a dent in this shade here, and I do the same look pretty much every single day with this palette because I'm boring and I like to know what I'm doing. So first of all, I'm going to take a bit of the orange and I am just going to buff that through my crease. This is a really easy orange eyeshadow to use because it's not like bright in your face. It's like almost like a kind of sandstone colour, and I literally just buff it like that, like that's it, done. I use a really big fluffy brush, and I get quite a lot of product actually on there, and I kind of just go with it, you know. These shadows blend really, really easily. Like, I've never had any problems with them kind of not blending or not lasting or doing anything like that. They work quite well over texture. I tend to get kind of eczema on my eyelids when they're being particularly sensitive, and I've never had any problems with these shadows not blending at all. So that's literally the first step, like just smush it into the crease. I will then take this, it's a Jeffree Star Morphe brush. I think it's a Jeffree Star Morphe brush, I don't know. But I like it because like it's almost like it's quite thin. You can barely see that because the focus doesn't work on the camera. Oh well. And I will go into the brown shade that I've made a massive dent in because I use this. I actually used to use this shade on my eyebrows. God, I can't believe I used this shade. Again, getting quite a lot of product because I am frankly a masochist. And what I do is just very lightly kind of draw almost a triangle with that brown eyeshadow on the absolute outer corner, and I'm holding the brush really far down so that I can almost flick it that way towards the inner portion of my eye. And then in my crease I just buff whatever is left on the brush through the crease to deepen it up a bit. This is my kind of cheat, but not quite cheat because it's not really cut crease, because this bit of the eye down here is then left completely bare, which is where I'm going to put the shimmer. So that's the kind of look that we're going for there. So, and then I just kind of neaten up that blending a bit, and I do the same on this side. This eye is always more difficult to do it on because I'm working the opposite way to the way that my hand wants to work. So I'm just gonna flick. And if I need to, I'll go back to that original brush just to blend the edges of it. Close enough for me to not care. And then I'll go in with a tiny little short stubby brush, and I normally go for the gold in the palette because I think it sits more harmoniously with the rest of the look. And again, very simply, the technical term is smush, and I just smush it onto the kind of mostly inner third, and then blend it really roughly into the brown. If you can see that. If you can't, well then I'm sorry. But do the same on this side. It really is a 3 minute, not even 3 minute, because I normally do this a lot faster because I'm not talking. Yeah, that'll do. I'm not worried about it being perfectly blended because, like, for the rest of the day I'm sitting in the house, you know. And then I'll take that same brush and I'll go into the brown. Again, I really tap off the excess for this stage. And I'll run it along my little lash line. Like that. Very simple, very easy, but does the job. Is pretty much the eyeshadow done. I'm just gonna very quickly go in with the sponge just on the absolute outer corners. That's it. It's really quite simple. And then I will go in with my mascara. I'm trying to work my way through multiple. So I have the PS 3D Lash Effect Mascara and the Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara, which I will be using on both eyes, obviously. I kind of just put the brush at the base of my lash, wiggle, and then blink. So this is going to be sped up. So now that's the mascara done, I'll then move on with lipstick. And I normally go between two on a day-to-day basis. They're both from Rimmel's The Only One matte collection. Today I have the shade Salute, which is like a pink, or I'll go for the shade Trendsetter, which is more of like a browny beige. Because I'm lazy and I don't bother using lip liner, I just gonna go in and smoosh. I like to smoosh. And there we go. That is my everyday kind of makeup routine. This is kind of what I'll do generally if I'm going to work, or it'll be a pink eye look if I'm not at work, and I'll just throw on some liquid liner. Normally it is Soap & Glory Super Cat. There we go, that should close that for once today. Well done me. If I can find them still, all the products that I've used today will be listed down below in the description box. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!